Hello Internet, welcome back to the channel, and today we are reviewing release 2.7, which include one main new feature, which is called Nested Elements Library. The Nested Elements Library will allows you to save and reuse nestable elements inside your bricks pages. And I'm going to review also the improvements and the bug fixes in this release. And I also cover a couple of features left behind in release 2.6.4, the dynamic data helper that has been improved in this release, and also the image mask helper. Okay, so stick with me and we'll cover everything new in this 2.7 release. Okay guys, let me introduce you the Nested Elements library. So, when you update it 2.7, you can just click on the AT main menu and you see a new item here, Nested Elements Library. Let's just click on it for now and see what's inside. You see that on the left we have all the categories, because we will be able to categorize your nested elements, and some default elements and a custom one. I can delete this, it was during my test, but I'm going to review how to create your own nested elements in a bit. So you see we have hero, card, ordered list, icon list, a table, a justified image gallery, and a masonry image gallery. Let's just start from the beginning, the hero. Let's open it, and you see that when clicking on the nested elements, you see that we have multiple elements added to our structure. And if we click on it, we have a hero, which is our wrapper, and we have two columns components with a content wrapper and an image wrapper. Inside the content, we have a heading, a pre-title, a description, and a CTA. Okay, you see that we have some style applied to the pre-title. Let's see what it is. It is in the layout. And you see we changed the order to -1, so the pre-title will be visually at the first place of our component, but on the DOM, the heading will be first, just to be as accessible as possible. Okay? Same goes for the CTA. There is some style here. That is the primary. Okay, you can change, or you can remove the primary, of course. But in this case, in the hero section, I just left the style as it is. And you see the styles applied to the default nested elements are really essentials. Okay, not much styles in it, to give you the ability to customize these elements as you want. Okay, so typically you will use this hero section as two columns, and you just have to click on the content, on the wrapper. And for example, we can apply a grid. So if I click on grid and put a two columns grid here, you see that we have now two columns with the content and the image. Okay. Of course, it leaves you the ability to customize this element as you want. And the customization that you do in this particular instance of the nested element won't have any effect on the original one. So if I now reopen the AT menu and nested elements, I'm going to re-add a new hero section. And you see that this hero section is right now it's nested here. Okay, you see that the original one without styles will apply. Okay, so for example, if you now want to save this two column version of a hero, you can do it by resaving this element. Okay, so let's go on the wrapper and let's right click to open the contextual menu. You see a new item, Save as Nested Element. Let's click on it. And it will open a new view. Okay, where you can add or edit an element. You can't edit default element. Okay, the edit works only with the one we are going to create. Okay, so right now we are going to create a duplicate hero element. okay, with this structure. Let's give a new label, hero2, and let's add the category hero, okay? We are going to assign an icon to it. Let's put the star, for example, and add nested elements. Okay, so as you see on the left, the script created correctly the hero category, and it created this hero2 element with the star icon. Okay, if I click on it again, it will again nest. I don't want this, I want this, sorry. No. Okay, let's back again. I'm going to re-add outside of the structure, my bad, AT menu nested elements, re-click on it, and you see that now on the bottom we have our third element that contains the style that we apply to our custom elements, right? And if I now want to edit this new custom element, I'm just going to right click on the wrapper again, save as nested element. By the way, we can, sorry, I want to show you that we can actually refresh this element with new structure. So let's add an image, an icon, and a text link. Okay, to this image. I want to put this new structure inside my custom element. So right click, save as nested element, and instead of adding a new nested element, we are going to edit it. And now we have a new field, which is edit the following component. You see that in our structure, it has been refreshed with the image, icon, and text link. I'm just going to choose my hero2 here, okay? And I'm going to change the label, let's say hero Maxime, and keep everything as it is, okay? And I'm going to edit nested elements. Now it's called hero Maxime, and if let's delete everything now. If I add it to my structure, okay, you'll see that now it contains an image, an icon, and a text link with the style applied. Okay, so you can easily create your own elements, save it to the database, edit them if you want to. The one edited, once you edit a pasted custom nested element, it won't affect the original one. You will need to edit it inside this view, okay, to edit the original one, and it won't affect the already pasted elements on other pages or inside the same page. It won't have an effect because it's like you are pasting a new element, and once it's passed, it's independent from the original nested element. Okay? Of course, here we are using the AT main menu, but there is a handy shortcut that I'm going to show you now. If you go to the team settings, builder tweaks, structure panel, you see that now on the right, the shortcut for creating elements, we have a new option, nested elements. Let's enable it and save the settings. I'm also going to save this page and refresh. And you see now we have a new icon here on the right bar, nested element. This is a shortcut to open your library. Okay, so you can quickly add nested elements to your structure without going to the AT main menu, but use the shortcuts on the right. Okay, I want to quickly review the default elements. So let's go back here to section, open the nested element, and we already reviewed the hero section. Let's add a card. And you see that the card is a LI, so you probably want to wrap this card inside a block and use a UL here to have a correct semantic DOM. Okay, inside the card we have first the content wrapper to be accessible, okay? And then the image wrapper that has, like we see here, an order set to -1, just to have the image showing first, but being the last container inside the DOM, okay? And of course, you can customize it as you want. So if we want to create, for example, 3-column cards, okay, let's duplicate this card 2 times. And on our wrapper, we are going to display it at grid and apply 3 columns. Okay, now we have a 3-column card. Great. That's for the card. Let's review the next one. Order list and icon list. I'm going to add the order list first. And again, probably it's better to put it inside the block, but you see that we have an OL for order list and all the list items inside them. And it's different from a bricks element because all these options will be inside a single element, and it will be harder to target inner containers. Sorry. Now you can style individual text, you can style individual list. You have the freedom to change your DOM element as you want, compared to the bricks element, which is a little bit more limited. Okay, you can of course duplicate this to the amount of the order that you want, and it will follow the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like expected. Okay, this is for the order list. Let's review the icon list instead. Again, icon list is an element that already exists inside the bricks native elements, but right here it's made by only core bricks elements. So now you can target the icon as you want, you can target the text as you want, you can manipulate the DOM as you prefer. You have much more flexibility and freedom to create this icon list as you wish. Okay, again, it's following a correct DOM structure with a UL and LI, like you would expect. You see that some elements have custom CSS inside. So if we check the custom CSS, you see that, for example, since we are using an icon, we are hiding the list style to avoid having a bullet. If I comment this code, maybe it won't be visible right now because the icon is on the top, but you will have a bullet, which is not what you are looking for. Okay, let's remove the list and see the next one, the table. So again, it's a simple HTML table, okay, which is, let's be honest, in modern website technology, the table is not super used because there are other ways to create tables, but in some cases, having a table already done for you it can be pretty handy, because if you have to do this yourself, you see that it contains like probably around 15 elements, and you have to change sorry, let's go back here. You have to change the custom tag for each element to be to follow a correct semantic DOM. So we have the T-head, the T-body, and each one follow the correct structure for the table. Of course, you can adapt it to your needs. So if you need now 4 columns, you're probably going to duplicate a TH and duplicate a TD. And now we have a 4-column table that you can style and easily target any element using the nested flexibility of this element. Okay? Let's remove this table and move on to the next one, which is a justified image gallery. And like you see here, we have a justified gallery. There are some styles on the wrapper. Let's just check the custom CSS here. And I'm going probably in the next release, I'm going to change this and add a variable, sorry, not here, but on the beginning, because we probably want the height of the image to be a variable. Let's make gallery height. Let's put 200 pixel and remove the height here, which is var gallery height. Okay, and now you can easily adapt the height of this image of this gallery to your needs. So 300 pixel for the height, for example, or even one. Well, of course, it's not displaying on 2 rows, but 115 will probably. Okay, so you see the principle is everything is responsive on a row level, not on a column level. Okay, let's remove the justified image gallery, and I'll show you the masonry image gallery. Again, now instead of being responsive on a row level, it's on a column level. Let's check the CSS, and you see that here we have some CSS variables. In this case, we have 4 columns, but you can easily change to 3 columns, for example, and it will adapt itself to 3 columns. There is a 10 pixel gap as default, but of course you can change to what you want. I think I have a gap here, and I can put gap L. Let's see if okay, and the gap will apply to your gallery. Okay, and maybe that's it, or we have another one. Okay, the section max here, it was a test, that's what I was doing. The important thing, I don't remember if I already told this, but the default elements can be edited. They can just be duplicated, and then you modify your duplicate elements. But for the default, they are this. But you can, of course, delete the one that you created. Okay, so I can create this. I can delete this section max without issue. If I now want to, let's add some block, and I'm going to save it and custom block, and in the block category. Okay, let's choose this icon. You see that now I just created a custom block just to make sure that it's getting saved to the database. You have a button on the bottom right, save to database. You have to click on it to make sure that it's saved to the database. Otherwise, saving bricks won't automatically save your nested element library. Okay, so make sure to save to database. Now, if I refresh my my page and I open my nested elements, you see that my custom block will be shown as expected. Okay, of course you can filter here. So if I want to hero, just as expected, you can filter, create new categories, my new category. Okay, and if I want, for example, change my element to my new category, I will just go here, for example. Okay, save as netted elements, edit. I'm going to choose my component, my custom block, and I want to add it to my new category. Okay, edit nested elements, and you see that now my custom block is inside my new category and the block is empty. Okay, I hope it's really clear. So the advantage here compared to the template, for example, is the template usually is used to create a predefined layout for you. Okay, here you are creating elements that can be styled if you want to, but the decision, the opinionated decision that I made is to provide elements that are really styled as a minimum. Okay, so you can actually use your creativity to style them how you want to. Okay, and usually when using templates, you are going to import entire sections, where here you can just insert your custom elements inside different contexts, okay, and in different layouts. And compared to the global element of bricks, it's different because the global element in bricks is not nestable. Okay, you can't have multiple elements as a global styles. And the big difference also is when you change the global element, this change will apply on all the elements of the website. Here we don't; they are not related. So once you passed a nested element to your structure, all the customization you are going to do in this specific element won't have any impact on other elements on the page or on the core nested element until you are going to edit the structure using this view, right? But just passing the element and changing the styles won't edit automatically the nested element saved in the library. Okay, so I think I covered pretty much everything about this new feature. And by the way, if you have IDs to add new default elements, I'm sure that these first one are just really common, but if you have new IDs of elements that you use over and over, and you'd like a quick shortcut to add them to your structure instead of creating from scratch every time, just let me know in the comments or jump in the Facebook group and suggest an element that you would like to see in this list, and I will be happy to check it and see if it's a good fit for the default element list. Right, I'm going to stop here and continue describing the future of 2.7. Okay guys, I want to review the fixes and improvements from 2.7, and the first thing I want to show you is related to a new feature introduced in 2.6.4, which is Dynamic Data Helper. And since I didn't make a video about it, I'm going to show you really quickly these features. Since it's already been presented by Paul Charlton in one of his videos. If you didn't watch it, go now to watch the presentation of Dynamic Data Helper. But in this video, I'm going to quickly review it and show you the new fixes. So now if you open, let's say, an image, you see that you have a dynamic data icon that if you click on it, it opens the dynamic data model, which is a feature from Advanced Themer that can be enabled through the theme settings. Let's go into theme settings. If you go into elements, you see that we have a dynamic data model here, a feature. If you enable it, there will be this modal instead of the drop down for bricks. Okay. So as you see, when from here you can select the tag that you want to apply to the field. So if you want to apply post log, you see that now the post log will be applied here in this dynamic data, right? If we reopen it, you see that new improvement. The filter is automatically focused, so you can directly type now and filter from here without clicking on the input, right? That's the first improvement. The second one I want to show you is for some reason you may want to add multiple tags on your field, and right before in the previous release you had to open the dynamic data, click on post link, reopen the dynamic data, post time, etc., etc. You had to reopen the modal again and again to select multiple tags. Now there is a shortcut. When you open the dynamic data, just hold the Shift K like I'm doing now, and I am going to click on the post link. You see that we receive a message. It's been correctly inserted. Then post date and post type again. And finally, I'm going to release the Shift K and click on the read more. Okay. And now you see that all the tags have been added to the input without having to open and close the dynamic modal again and again. Okay, another thing is about the filter. So before it was only filtering the label, right? But it didn't include the name of the function. So for example here, login URL is the label, but site underscore login is the name of the function, right? So sometimes the label is slightly different from the name, and now when you filter, it will both filter the label and the name, and also the parent category. So for example, here we have a lot of tags in the post. To be even more clear, let's just filter the post, right? You see that we have read more and filter image, which has no post inside the label nor the name function, right? But now in the filter, it will also filter the post label. So if I'm going to write post, you see that read more and filter image is still visible because they are part of the post category. Okay, so if I remove this and I'm going to search for terms, you see that all the terms tags will be visible. Of course, if you want to be more strict, like term name, you will see only term name because term name isn't part of the post label category. Okay, so a few improvements from the dynamic data. Let's see if there is anything. No, I think it's okay. Expand all children is another improvement. So expand children. If you go back to the theme settings, let's see where it is. Sorry, it is in the structure panel, and you see that expand all children is this one. Okay, and has been improved. So before, if we go into the builder, you see that the containers has this icon to expand the children, but now it can also collapse. So you have both options. Once you click on collapse, you see that the icon change, and you can again expand this. So let's make a multiple level. So let's add a container with some icons and again a block and some elements. You see that you can expand and collapse on multiple levels. So if I only want to collapse a container, okay, I'm just going to click here and it will collapse and expand the container only. But if I'm going to go in the parent, I can do the same with the parent. And same goes for hero. Okay, so you can now use collapse and expand. Even, by the way, even if these one are collapsed, okay, so let's collapse the children right now. But now I want to expand all the children, okay. I'm just going to click here and it will automatically expand all the children, you see? Okay, so that's for the expand all children improvement. Export AT had a bug in 2.6.4 that was not working correctly. So it's now working again, and it also had a couple of improvements, because now when you are exporting AT settings, it will include the nested elements that we reviewed before. So you can easily export these settings from a site to another, and it will include the saved nested elements from the source. And other building data, such as, for example, if we go back to the builder, and if we open the grid guide, okay, these settings, if you customize them, are saved in a specific data structure that before wasn't included inside the export. Now all the data that exclusively saved inside the builder are exported in your export JSON file. Okay, so you should have a really exact copy from the source side to the destination. Okay, let's come back to here. Added the filter elements to the list of elements you can enable disable. Yeah, because now if we go back to the theme settings, Bricks announced that the filter query loops, filter queries are not beta anymore, so they are good to be used in production. So all the related elements like filter, checkbox, date picker, radio, etc., are now officially good to go and have been added to the list of the elements that you can enable or disable from the AT settings. Okay. Dynamic data filter with tag names. Okay, we already reviewed this. There are some layout issues that come from 1.9.9 that have been resolved. I'm not going to review them. They are just aesthetic improvements in AT. And also, since 1.9.9 had a big speed optimization from the Bricks team, okay, and that was mainly related to how the structure panel is working in Bricks, and also the contextual menu. Okay, so these now are work slightly differently to allows better performance inside the structure, and this has the effect to basically make this function like move, like add element, all the function from AT inside the contextual menu not working really great. So because the code changed in Bricks. So this has been solved now. Everything inside the contextual panel should work as expected. Let's see if there is something. Yeah, the move children feature has been improved. It has been improved for performance. Like now you can move things without any glitch. Before there were some glitches, but you can now just click on them and you see it's really super reactive. So the move function changed, but also the delete change. So if we open here, we have the move children up, which is basically deleting the wrapper only and move the children on the upper level of the DOM. And sometimes, depending on the order of each element, I'm not going to go too specific here, but while the moving children up always worked, but sometimes the elements were positioned wrongly inside the parent. So some improvement here too. And let's see. Yes, remove template links in strict editor mode wasn't working correctly anymore. So your editors were able to see some links to the templates section of Bricks, which is usually not recommended if you don't want your editors to be able to edit templates. And the last thing I want to show you is the left panel visibility. Let's go back to the theme settings, strict editor, and elements. So basically you have here a list of elements you can enable or disable inside the strict editor view. And again, you have now a list of elements you can enable or disable for the left visibility feature. Okay, both these lists have different elements, which didn't make sense because in the left visibility panel there were more elements than this one. The problem is, if this one is not enabled, it won't be clickable. So even if you enable some elements from the left visibility panel, if it wasn't enabled on the top, it will never show to the editor. So now both element lists are the same, and you can customize it accordingly. Okay, that is for the 2.7. But since I didn't release a dedicated video on the smaller updates from release 2.6, I just want to review a couple of features that has been added. So image mask helper. If we come back to the theme settings, you will see that in elements, let's come back to the builder tricks elements, we have this mask helper, okay? And this is an option, for example, for an image. If you click on an image and you want to apply a mask to your image here, you have now a new icon next to the select input. And if you open it, you see the default mask from Bricks applied to your image, right? And you can change just by clicking on apply, and then the image will apply directly. Okay, right now I didn't select any image, so it's not visible in the preview window, but just believe me that applying this mask helper will select the exact mask, which in this case was hexagon. Okay, and that's it. Basically, this release probably has a couple of less new items that I usually do for a major release, but 1.9.9 from Bricks was a pretty big change, and we needed to solve some existing issues in Advanced Steamer. So let's say that this release 2.7 wasn't really scheduled to be released that soon. I would have preferred to release it maybe in July or something like that, but due to the changes in Bricks, this release is a bit anticipated. With the nested element library, which I think is a great feature if you don't want to do things over and over and just build your own nested element library. I think it can be a great improvement in your workflow as general. And so I'm happy to release it and have a solid version that as of now, since it's released, it has been released since 2 days. I have nearly zero bug report about these features, and so I consider this release pretty solid. And I hope you enjoy, like me, this new feature. Don't be shy. Leave a comment in the comment section, and let me know, guys, what you think about this improvement in Advanced Themer. See you guys for the next one. Bye bye.